Brought to you by Rush TV.
Happy Lunar New Year, I'm your host Tammy Young and welcome to the third episode of The Turnbuckle. Let's jump straight into the news. First, on the list, we have the announcement of OCW's Wrestler Unknown's Rumblegrounds scheduled to take place sometime in March 2023. Not much detail has been announced regarding this event, but our news on the inside has informed us that the event will be taking place in San Francisco, California. We'll have more information on this event as it unravels. On to this week's OCW Weekly Injury Report. First up we have Cody Omega, who we still don't have any final confirmation on, as it was last reported that he was hospitalized for a possible hernia or intestinal blockage. But new updates have stated that he might be suffering from Ebola. Please take this report with a grain of salt as no official release has been made. This will be our last report on Cody Omega until further notice. Next up we have Cassidy Hayes. He was noted as having suffered a possible relapse in the injury to his surgically repaired neck following that attack from Cody Hagan on Riot 596. No word has been shared from Cass or his medical team at this time, but we will be sure to keep you updated. Next on the list, we have a brief update on the Queen of OCW, Ashley Moore, who was escorted to the back last Riot for what we hoped at the time was a minor ankle sprain. Upon further updates, we have been informed that Ashley has suffered an ankle fracture, to which we have not heard the extent as of yet, but stay tuned as more details are shared. New to the injury report, we have Hito Gue, who has suffered more injuries than we can list in a single report. Our inside source refused to approach or contact anyone relating to Hito Gue for fear of his own life. We will try to keep you updated on any information that we can gather, but don't expect much. Another new entry is our current OCW Women's Champion, Harry Etiquette, who from our reporting seemed to obtain a possible lateral collateral ligament tear. Harry was attacked by Cheyenne Lovelace and Kameo Hada. OCW's general manager Imps Enforcers and members of Team TOG, following her main event battle against Marissa Welch-Mack. Harry was still seen clutching her right knee on the mat following the conclusion of the show. We'll share any words from the medical staff as they are revealed to us. This just in, as we have just received an OCW official injury report from management confirming that OCW's current CCW World Champion Ines Quartz has been taken to the hospital following a very high-angle chair shot and several stiff shots to the face from a former CCW World Champion Rex. The chair shot, which clipped Quartz in the back of his head, caused a very deep cut. Medical staff rushed to the scene following the incident to attempt to stop the bleeding. OCWFED confirmed the extent of the injury this morning, clarifying that Quartz did receive a major cut and required 8 staples in his head after the show. However, officials at OCW are confident that no serious head injury occurred due to the attack. We wish everyone on this list, as well as those not listed in this episode, a speedy recovery. That's it for this week's injury reports, but you can find more details on this story as well as others on OCWFED.com. Let's get to this week's Turmoil episode 291. This past week OCW held its first Turmoil episode of the new year. Let's see what this week brings following the events that took place on Riot. First, out of the gate, we have an appearance of OCW's general manager Imp, who wanted to address the attack of Chris Green and Cassidy Hayes from Cody Hagan on Riot. In short, she stated that Cody Hagan could fight the OCW lawyers in court or stand face-to-face with Chris Green in a one-on-one match. Following the conclusion of Turmoil that night, this response was posted on Cody Hagan's Twitter page.
You wanted a response from me? Chris, OCW University all wanted a response from the one-time World Heavyweight Champion, the man himself, yours truly, the always ever since on the first episode of Riot Ultra. You want a response from the Hellraiser? You truly want a response from me? Well, here's your response, Emp. Here's your response, Chris Green. Here's your response, Spooky Perverts. I accept the offer.
Well, there you have it. The Hellraiser Cody Hagen has agreed to face Chris Green in an OCW ring. You can find Cody Hagen's full response on OCWFED.com. As for now, we don't have any official word as to when the match will take place, but we will update you as soon as that information is shared. On to the first match of the night. We had Jordan Trance versus Chase Psycho in one of 3 rookie debut matches of the evening. Chase Psycho put up one hell of a fight, but the rookie's inexperience placed him on the losing end as the future idiot Jordan Trance pulled out the victory. But the victory was short-lived as OCW legend Jacob Trance arrived on the scene. Before Jordan could get a word out, he was attacked by Casey Barrett. The two are set to face each other in a tag team match on Riot 597. Next up we have Christian Garcia, who had a heated conversation with Marcus McMichaels. Garcia has been playing mind games with Marcus as well as Jasmine for quite some time now. Garcia's comments had finally gotten under McMichaels' skin to the point a fight broke out, leaving McMichaels standing tall in the ring. At this moment Garcia is currently scheduled to fight H2O as the main event of Riot 597. Speaking of playing mind game, next we have a no-show of Val Vitroil. Val was scheduled to fight Megan Morgandale in our second rookie debut of the night. Val, who was last seen on Turmoil 287 in her match against Noirmara, was replaced by Kameo Hada, a member of TOG. Kameo and Megan put on a show-stopping match that left the fans wanting more as Kameo pulled out the victory over the debuting rookie. It was an amazing match put on by 2 of the best up-and-coming women. As for Val, no official word has been posted, but word around OCW's women's locker room is she was arrested for a possible DUI. We will keep you posted on any updates. OCW's last rookie debut was Jaden Hero vs Kingu. Kingu, who is more known in the MJPW crowd, seemed to take his time walking to the ring. Many fans feel his entrance was as long as the match itself. Jaden Hero, new to OCW scene, was a man on a mission, but the mission wasn't successful as Kingu was able to pull out the win, getting the second victory of his OCW career. Speaking of a man on a mission, next up we have OCW International Champion Claudio Stardom in a confrontation with the Iceman Nate Mack. What started as banter between the two broke down into sheer chaos as Nate Mack was a madman as he fought off several OCW security guards in his attempt to get his hands on Claudio. 2 security guards are reported as having been sent to the hospital to be medically treated. Claudio, who was able to barely escape the Iceman's wrath, was later tackled by a security guard following his attack on the security as well. They may call him the Iceman, but he seems to be heated when it comes to Claudio. Word backstage is General Manager Imp has issued fines for both Nate Mack and Claudio for their actions. Before moving on to Turmoil's main event, let's briefly go over a few other matches and events that took place. First, we have Colin Locke vs Sheldon Tremblay in a one-on-one match. Sheldon, who came to the ring sporting some new kicks, was not able to put them to work as he was easily put down by Colin Locke. Next, we have Isu, who seemed to be laying out a speech for retirement that was interrupted by the OCW North American Champion Owen. Owen issued a challenge to Isu, which appears to be set for OCW's 18th anniversary show. We also have the Last Blacksmith, who made an appearance at Turmoil to share his views about recent events, but was greeted by Chris Green, who seems to be set on getting revenge on Blacksmith following his previous loss to him at Animal House. Last, we have the Wrestle Club vs Castianity in a tag team match. Castianity did its best, but was put out to pasture by the Wrestle Club. What followed only confused and baffled fans as Marcus McMichael attacked John Carter after winning their match, leaving Carter unconscious on the floor while Greed aka C-Note whispered sweet nothings in his ear. Some say C-Note is still there to this day, talking to an unconscious John Carter. On to our main event of the evening. We have Marissa Welchmack versus the OCW Women's Champion Harry Etiquette in somewhat of a shocking turn of events. Harry, who was once undefeated in one-on-one combat, seemed to have a hard time with Marissa. The two pulled out all the stops as the battle raged on. Harry, who at the time seemed to be throwing caution to the wind for most of the match, was unable to pick up the victory in the end as Marissa was able to secure the victory over the OCW Women's Champion, not only surprising all the fans in the arena, but also marking Harry Etiquette's second singles loss of her career. Marissa, who has surprised the OCW fans with a few out-of-nowhere victories in her career, seems to be paving a new path for herself in the women's division. Will this eventually lead to a women's title match? Only time will tell. But wait, there's more. As the general manager of OCW, Imp, along with her enforcers, made their way down to the ring following Harry Etiquette's loss to Marissa. What took place following Imp's appearance left fans shocked as the general manager informed Harry of her opinions of her just before staking her claim to the women's title in what some have been saying is an abuse of her power. Before Harry could take in everything that was transcribed, she was viciously attacked by the members of TOG, leaving Harry in a questionable condition at the end of the show. What will happen next? How will Mr. Sensation react to the actions of Imp? You'll have to find out by visiting OCWFED.com, where you can keep up to date on this story and more. As for now, I have been Tammy Young and this has been The Turnbuckle. I'll see you next time.